Welcome back to the Jibbston channel. I'm your host, Jibbston, and I'm trying to make some content. I used to make a lot back in the day. Didn't really go anywhere with it, right? Did a whole lot of random stuff. I wanted to make a video today, but I've been having some serious block lately, and I'm just, what if I go back and react to some of my older stuff? I just watched a little bit of it and had some emotions, right? So I figured, why not just share that, and maybe that'll inspire me to do something new with this new direction that I'm headed in life. I think we'll just start with some underrated guns of Call of Duty.
What is going on, everybody? It is Jibbston here, and today we're doing a little something different. We're gonna be starting a new little thing called the underrated guns of Call of Duty. We're gonna start with the granddaddy of Call of Duties.
It's like I didn't know. It's like I didn't know how to talk back then. And granted, these are all off the cusp, just freaking free flowing. All of them, and you'll see the same problems in every single one. I think it's just absolutely no organization. Some of the stuff I say doesn't even make sense, literally. Like, I think I'm talking to an audience, but I'm not. And it's just interesting to see, you look back at yourself at almost 10 years ago now and see how far you think you've come, to a point where looking back looks cringe, right? And I don't like using the word cringe. I think cringe is cringe, if that makes sense, but there's really no other way for me to explain this sort of stuff.
One or the second one or even the third one, but it's a pretty big one to a lot of people, and that is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the start of it all, at least for me and a whole lot of other people. And we're gonna progress up the list of Call of Duty until we get to the latest addition to the series, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 3, which comes out in a month. Now the plan is, once we get to
Black Ops 3 wasn't even out yet. I'm starting this like this is my pre-game. Black Ops 3 is gonna be hype for me. I'm gonna be on that grind. Starting the COD community. Let's go. I'll be the first one to play freaking team deathmatch on YouTube. Man, that was it. I was always so hyped to start and record my first game on the new COD. I think I've said this before, but I think it's like every year I have my first game recorded for some reason, thinking I'm gonna upload some sick shit, which is funny. It's endearing. I'm like, what am I really doing this for? Is it just for a random commentary, like first impressions?
We're gonna go cycle back down to COD 4 and then up again and cover different guns. Hopefully I don't run out of guns in the second run through things. That would be kind of awkward, but I think we're gonna make it work. Now the Black Ops 3 beta actually started today. I never
even made it through one run of this series. Like I think I got to Modern Warfare 2 and was like, no, I got to Black Ops, and then I was like, yeah, that's it. I think I had it recorded and I came back to it months later just to upload it because it was already done, right? I just had to put it together. Maybe I have been thinking, since I watched part of another one, I'm like, maybe I spin this idea because I thought it was interesting back at the time. I don't think it's going to do well now, but if I spin it a little bit, it could be something.
Mess around with the guns a little bit.
We'll see how that goes.
Anything out, like what people do like, what people don't like, and all that good stuff. Since I've only played it for a couple hours, so let's hope we can make something work with this beta footage. But for now, let's just focus on COD 4 because that's where we're starting.
All right, look, we're a minute in and we haven't started yet. This is some peak YouTube content. A minute in, that's 25% of your video that you just wasted on Preamble.
Scorpion submachine gun.
Upcoming YouTubers, don't do what I did, and I'm probably doing it still in this video. I know I did, but look, we're still learning every day. Okay, there's always room to grow, and there's no such thing as perfect, right? You can play to the algorithm and learn it, like the viewing behaviors of today's audience, but you just kind of got to go through it at your own pace, right? But don't do what I did. Don't waste a minute, 25% of your video on Preamble explaining things. You got to make sure the premise is set, but don't take forever to do it.
Silenced Scorpion submachine gun, because that's the best way.
And the title gives it away. Underrated guns of Call of Duty. What are we talking about? We're talking about underrated guns of Call of Duty. In this case, it's clear that it's COD 4. Probably. I could have said, hey, this is COD 4, by the way, and an underrated gun in this game is a Scorpion, and I like it because of this. And go.
Way to rock it, in my opinion. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can play with this gun. I wouldn't recommend going
There's a lot of ways.
Close and personal. I mean, it's gonna be the easiest way to kill somebody, but at the same time, it doesn't have a lot of manpower, and it doesn't have a lot of bullets in the magazine. There's only 20 rounds, so you're gonna have a hard time taking out more than one person, and it's just not very powerful. However,
man, look at these graphics.
It is like a little laser gun. If you can get this on someone's head from across the map, they're gonna drop if you get.
I whiffed all those shots. Obviously, I cut out that second kill because I didn't get it. I'm sure.
3 or 4 bullets into him. This gun has almost 0 recoil. It actually kind of reminds me of the ACR in Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3. However, it's not nearly as much of a powerhouse, and it's not as versatile with long range. But everybody who's played this game already knows that the M16 is the only thing that can come close to the ACR in those games, because that thing is a true death laser.
I feel like I might actually be reading.
Play around with this gun is
I thought this was
sneak
off the
around
cast.
enemy lines and flank your opponent. With 20 rounds, that might be scary, but with a silenced little death machine like this, you could easily take out 2 or 3 opponents with one clip if they're bunched together and don't really know you're there. In my opinion, I think this is a really fun gun to use, and a lot of people overlook it as they go straight for the MP5 or even the P90 in this game. If you ever find yourself back in God 4, you might as well give this gun a try.
It sounds like I'm reading, but I don't think I wrote scripts for this. If I did, they were really basic, and I sound stupid because I've repeated myself like 20 times. I'm sure that's what's going on here, because I'm pretty positive I didn't write a script.
It was one of my personal favorites for the longest time. Back in COD 4.
Maybe I've become so much better at talking that it sounds ridiculous that I'd be reading that, because I don't think I would ever read that like that now. But granted, it's been 10 years.
There was a thing called old school mode where you can jump higher, you had more health, and you didn't have any custom classes. You started off with a Scorpion and an M9, I think, as your secondary. There are guns and perks laid out around the map, kind of like Halo style. You had to collect things if you wanted to get them.
I miss old school.
Eventually, you had pretty much.
Why didn't they ever bring back old school mode? And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure that there's been a version of it in one of the COD games since COD 4. But old school was an interesting concept. It was like the Halo 3 version of Call of Duty. You had more health, as I just explained here 9 years ago. More health. Your guns and perks are on their pickups. So you go around the map to pick up your gear, basically like a Halo style. You jump higher, and I mean, I guess that's basically it. And it was like, yeah, it's old school mode, right? It's Halo mode.
Because you can jump higher and get out of the map.
It was interesting. It was like Warzone before Warzone. Actually, you have more health, time to kill is bigger. You pick up your gear, so the more gear you got, the better you get. Basically, interesting.
Cage match mode and matchmaking. I don't know if that's still there, but you basically start off with a Scorpion, and that's all you can run for unless you pick up a different weapon. So if you're good with the Scorpion, you'd be good in those 1v1s and cage match. Also, part of the gameplay, I recorded this a long time ago, and I currently don't have a router to plug my Xbox 360 in to play some COD 4, so I can't get any more gameplay. To make
Listen to how rigid this sounds.
things worse,
Listen how rigid this is.
Also, part of the gameplay, I recorded this a long time ago, and I currently don't have a router to plug my Xbox 360 in to play some COD 4, so I can't get any more gameplay. To make
I think I had seen so many commentaries at this point in time that had a certain cadence to it. Like, the bar was so low on YouTube, like the way that people talked, it just sounded unnatural, and I think I was mimicking that into a point where I'm sure I was doing worse than the other people that I'd watched, but it just came across even more unnatural. And apologies for, and also you have to acknowledge everything, like every flaw that you possibly can perceive in your own content. Like, apologies for the gameplay. I don't have a router to plug my Xbox 360 in to get more gameplay, implying that this gameplay sucks, and there is an actual reason why I don't get more. And I'm over explaining my life, because I'm like, this is my first year in college. I'm out in an apartment at 3,000 miles away from my home, and I don't even have a router. I can't even play this game that I want to explore and relive my childhood, because I'm scared and alone in college, and in this relationship I wasn't really ready to go all into here at this point, because I'm too young and baby boy to comprehend all of these adult things in life, and I'm scared.
Make things worse, I have one of the old fat Xboxes. It's an Elite. It's not the white one, but it doesn't have Wi-Fi capabilities, so I can't even connect to Xbox Live on it. I just moved into a new apartment, so I mean, that's what I gotta deal with for a little while. They're giving me free internet.
And why does it sound like I have a stroke there? They're giving me the free internet. I don't know. And the whisper that I think that was funny and cheeky. My God, this is so funny. I'm so sorry. If you're watching this, props to you, man. This is crazy.
Back on topic here, I think the Scorpion is a pretty neat gun, and I think it deserves some love, so go back in COD 4 and rock the Scorpion silence for me. You know, something even better, I would actually like to see it. Putting Black Ops 3 this year.
I would love to see the Scorpion.
I don't know. Doesn't have to be a DLC weapon. If
No,
it just
please
came
don't
with the
make
game,
DLC.
that'd be pretty cool.
No DLC weapons, no loot boxes. Oh my god, Black Ops 3 was infamous for its gosh darn loot boxes. Controversial, pay to win. Oh my god, it was
Come
bad.
on, Treyarch. Can you listen to your fans here? They're asking for the Scorpion, the original Scorpion, not those Evo ripoffs. I don't like that. Thank you guys for watching, and next time we'll cover COD 5. Hopefully I can get some gameplay of that, since I can't really play it online right now.
Hopefully I can get some
If I
gameplay.
can't manage to do that, I'll probably just jump around different Call of Duties in a different order, or have an episode on Black Ops 3. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you all for watching, and have a nice day. See you later.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. That was like my it was gonna be like my my outro, my catchphrase. See you later. I did it for a handful of videos and it was really bad. Another part, new YouTubers, don't get caught up in your outro. I just made that outro like 30-40 seconds long, and that's just inviting your viewer to click off, right? So we got a minute plus intro, 30 to 40 seconds of an outro. That leaves like a little over 2 minutes of the actual meat of the video. Just think about that. It's almost like 40% nonsense. All right, let's head into Underrated Guns of Call of Duty Part 2.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Jibbston, and today we're going to take a look at another underrated gun of Call of Duty. And today,
720p, baby.
That is a couple of the bolt-action rifles.
My intro. What am I doing? And that is, I forgot. Couple of the bolt action rifles. Pick one, probably, maybe. I understand that it's hard to pick one. As we'll see here, I picked two weapons because they're basically the same. Which I'd probably still do today because I'm stupid and I have ADHD or whatever. Trying to get that diagnosed. Yada yada yada.
From World at War.
And I can't make a decision for my life.
If you remember, I made a video about this, a long time ago. Like seriously,
when was
a
this
long
uploaded?
time ago. I had like half of this video done. After I did the COD 4 one, and just sort of lost interest in it. I'm not.
So that's basically 9 years ago today.
Not gonna lie, I was having
more than that. So again, though, we are 4 minutes of a video. 4 minutes of a video. We're already 30 seconds in, and we're talking about nonsense again. It's a common theme with me.
Having a hard time putting this video together. The commentary wasn't going well. The gameplay wasn't super fantastic.
Let's explain my creative block
I'm not that good.
And the weight that this took for the whole millions of people that were waiting for me to upload Call of Duty Underrated Guns Part 2.
But it's a couple months later, and I've got a fresh pair of eyes, fresh brain, and I'm ready to get back into it. Two weapons I picked for this game. And notice I say two, not just one, because I feel like they're very similar in how they perform.
Eyes,
honestly, I can't
brain.
pick my favorite between the two because it shifts back and forth. And before I forget to tell you the names of the guns in the first place, we're looking at the Kar 98 and the Arisaka. If you haven't been able to tell by the gameplay,
solid B-roll.
These are both bolt-action rifles. You can put sniper scopes on them. You can put bayonets or rifle grenades. But my favorite way is just to use the bayonet. So the reason I don't use a scope with these weapons is just because I feel like you can get the best of both worlds without one. You can still perform well in long range, but you can also perform pretty well in close range. And honestly, if I do need to snipe, I'll just go to a different gun. I actually prefer the Springfield scoped, or the PTRS, or even the Mosin Nagant.
I remember recording this. I think it was off the cuff. I think some of my best work is off the cuff. I even change up my recordings settings. Like I've got my whole setup here ready to go. But for some reason, some of my best work is I am messing with a different microphone. And maybe tear apart some of my setup and like move it a little bit and then use that instead of like everything locked in place, ready to go and like my highest quality stuff. Sometimes I'll just destruct something and start going on like the burner setup. I don't know why, but it just works. And then I'm in it and then it's done. It's really bizarre. Maybe I should try that again.
With a scope on it. Mosin Nagant. However you say that.
And I'm inserting trying to be my quirky self and be a little bit relatable and funny.
The Arisaka has a slower fire rate, but it is not really that noticeable, to be honest.
And I love this song. I'm going to get in trouble for using this song again, but maybe I'll have to sign up for Epidemic Sounds because seriously, this is a banger of a song for me. Definitely nostalgia based for me right now, but it's just a nice little guitar riff. A little bit of it's good. It's good stuff. You should listen.
Basically, from the stomach up, you're pretty much guaranteed for one shot. Now that being said, if you are up close range and you can't get the shot off, or you get a hit marker for whatever reason, you can always switch to your trusty old sidearm in this game, which in my opinion, are very viable. Shouts to the Tokarev, my personal favorite pistol in this game. Love you. I think these weapons are underrated because you can do a whole lot of damage with these things.
This brings us to a conversation we need to have about Call of Duty, right? Pistols being viable in COD. I think I like the game so much more when you can use a good pistol, right? This game is one of them. The Magnum, the Tokarev, like my favorite in this game. Even the Colt, the Nambu's all right. You know, they're all good. Some COD games, you play around with them and they feel pretty awful. Like they're not viable ever. And that sucks. Like the Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 6, I feel like the pistols aren't great. The auto pistol's okay. Modern Warfare 3, nice pistols. The first one, a little bit of red dot and like a faster fire rate, very little recoil in the silencer. That's nice. With the sniper build, you're just picking people off, right? Who knows?
But well, a lot maybe of people waste their time with the scopes, and then you waste your time camping when you can run and gun with these things just fine and perform well. I'm only sticking to these two specifically because I feel like the Springfield without a scope is a lot more abysmal, especially with the iron sights being what they are, whatever the hell those things are. Although revisiting this game, I did find it not to be as horrible as I remember, actually being able to kill people with it with one shot. That was definitely a nice change of pace from the terrible memories I had with this gun without a scope on it. And as for the Mosin, it's definitely not a bad weapon. I just prefer the other iron sights better. And to me, the gun just for the Mosin, it's definitely not a bad weapon. I just prefer the other iron sights better. And to me, the gun just feels slower and clunkier compared to the other two. However, these two weapons are my snipers of choice when it comes to using scopes. So those maybe will be featured in another video. I mean, look at this Springfield. This is just gold. Look at
this is my classic get sidetracked, which I've done already multiple times in this video, right? Just let's take a look at every sniper in the game. Why not? Just to highlight what I like about those versus these ones that I want to talk about. These are the underrated, right? These probably aren't even underrated. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but man, they were good.
Look at it.
I liked them.
It's just look at that. I mean, come on. It just feels
nice,
like
basic sniping clips.
But when you take that scope off, it's like, who are you? Whose red-headed stepchild are you?
Yeah.
If you're going to go back on the World of War and try out these weapons for yourself, I would suggest running the bayonet for that close-range utility, along with special grenades ×3. I probably would stay away from bandolier because you don't need it, as the gun already comes with about 30 rounds to begin with. Obviously, stopping power helps out with those nice one-shot kills, and steady aim also helps for that close-range accuracy. These have been two of my favorite underrated guns from World at War. I couldn't decide on just one because honestly they're pretty damn similar, and the differences are kind of negligible in my eyes. So stay tuned for next time. Hopefully I'll end up making a video eventually about the underrated guns of Modern Warfare 2, which probably is my favorite Call of Duty game in the series. So
I love how you can hear it in real time. I'm like, I know I'm freaking bad at completing videos. If I ever freaking do it, hopefully we'll be doing some Modern Warfare 2.
I'll be looking forward to that, I guess. But until then, I'll probably be procrastinating and not doing anything productive, and so there's that. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.
Dude, the I will see you later, boom, music hits so much harder than see you later, whatever that was. I think I ditched that at this point already, which is so good. It was really bad.
So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you later.
Please subscribe. Look at my last video. It was slightly worse than this one. Actually, I'd say this one was much better. I think I nailed the cadence, the voice I was going for a little better in this. So let's check out episode 3. There it is. Took me a lot longer to get it up. And where's the Black Ops version? How long did that one take? I think that was like forever. Way later. There it is. 4 years ago? Excuse me? Did I just like have it up and all right, that's a teaser, but 4 years in between.
What is going?
Hey man, we're about ready for a new one. That's all that means. Okay, so Modern Warfare 3 underrated guns coming to you next week. All right, I think this is the last episode I was able to use this song for because I didn't have the subscription to this music service anymore. So we'll have to enjoy that.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. And
It's so silly, but I was always proud of that delivery right there. Underrated. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think because I think it sounds sick and smooth. Maybe it's the progression of like where we started to coming here, and what this could be. It didn't really go anywhere, obviously, but the idea of what it could be, I think maybe was attractive. So trying to get into that like radio host and commentator feel was big for me. So I like that.
And today we're going to take a look at my personal favorite game of the Call of Duty franchise, Modern Warfare 2, the game that started it all. And by started it all, I mean it didn't really start it. I mean, it kind of did. It was in the fact like the first...
Here's the rambling. Here's the not knowing where I'm going with my words, going back and forth on the statement I just made. It started it all. I mean, no, it didn't, but yeah, it kind of did.
Really like big step upwards from the older games like COD 4 and World at War. We're pretty basic in terms of what we see now, and so this game really stepped it up in terms of kill streaks and a lot of other
Look at that noob
things
straight to the face
to go around with the game. But anyways, it's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about underrated guns, and obviously today we're going to look at the L86 light machine gun. My reasoning behind this is because, well, I really rarely ever saw anyone use this thing. I mean, I think there are a couple of reasons for that. Obviously, the default class that this gun was featured in, they had this gun obviously with a red dot sight and the AT-4 rocket launcher and danger close. So no stopping power.
I just have a message to all of you Modern Warfare 2 heads, 2009 Modern Warfare 2 heads. Use the default class. If you were the default class user, your team's getting rocked, right? We've got a Payflow up. We've got Harriers. Chopper Gunners in next, right? And you got nothing going on. You've been 0-5, maybe 1-5, 1-6, 2-4, not really contributing the last few deaths. Please switch to the default class and shoot that shit down. Do us all a favor. Maybe for those of us who are on a kill streak, hiding for our lives because we're one away from our care pack, because we're one away from our chopper gunner. Please, for the love of God. I know this is 15 years too late, but you needed to hear it. I know you did. That's what they're there for, okay? Maybe you don't want to take one of your 10 custom classes or your 5 custom classes for a cold-blooded Stinger class to shoot down those kill streaks, but you know, you always have the default class. The rocket launcher can do something. It might take you 2 lives. You might already have that painkiller rolling up, so you can survive a little bit longer when those Harrier jets are peppering you, okay? But that means you can get, boom, 1 shot off with the rocket, maybe 30 shots off with the LSW or whatever this gun is even called. It's got a red dot too, okay? Use it. And danger close. Also, the campers. This is a camper destroyer class. Or boosters, sorry. You know someone's boosting your lobby. I have vivid memories of high rise. There are 2 guys on top. You know the building that you can climb that little, whatever that is, like a painter's lift thing, and then run across the roof ledge and then climb another ladder up to the rooftop on one of those spawns. Boosters up there, right? You change that default class. It's got sit rep pro. You can see the tactical insertions up there, and you also have danger close, so you can throw semtexes, blow those things up, or you can see where the tactical insertion is and know exactly where the camper or the boosters are sitting. So if you go up there, or even can throw something up there, you know where they're at, okay? Use it and disrupt that early nuke, that illegitimate nuke from happening, okay? Again, 15 years too late. Better now than never.
So that detracted a lot from this beautiful, beautiful gun. And by beautiful, I mean completely hideous. I mean, look at those iron sights. Back then, when stopping power existed, if you didn't have it, there was a distinct disadvantage of not having it to someone who did. So combine that with this gun's kind of tricky recoil, I just think that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I mean, the only thing I used it for, besides booster hunting, I mean, the Sitrep Pro helped like find, you know, tactical insertions and stuff, and AT4 and Semtex with danger close was good at destroying them. The only other reason to use it was to take down kill streaks. And I think a lot of people can agree with that. If you didn't have a Stinger class or anything to take down aircrafts with your own custom classes, then this was obviously the one to go to try and do that.
Look at this.
Now I'm talking with a lot of personal experience here, because let me tell you, I used it a lot. When people would get those Pavlos and the Harriers and the Chopper Gunners all at the same time, man. When I was using that class, I obviously had to use the primary weapon to kill anybody who was, you know, gonna come up and try to kill me. If you make your own class with this stupid, ugly thing, then you can start doing something a little more productive. Personally, I don't think the iron sights are too bad to use, even though they're pretty ugly.
Okay, it is like with Sleight of Hand Pro, it is like a quick AR. It's like an AR LMG, right? It's like that hybrid. I think there's another variant of this gun that are in like Battlefield games and probably another COD game. It's like the L85. It's like the assault rifle version. That's where this thing starts to go when you put Sleight of Hand Pro on there. Stopping power, you're like whipping around. Maybe some grip or even the red dot would be good, right?
But that really doesn't matter as long as you can see through it and shoot people with it. And,
close game!
Things are looking pretty good for you. So a grip or silencer is the way that I like to take it. Now for me, Sleight of Hand is the only first perk to go with for this guy here. Scavenger, obviously. No, you don't need that many rounds. And Sleight of Hand Pro makes your aiming a little bit more snappy with this stupid slow gun in the first place. So that way you're going to have a big advantage. I put that in the video on purpose. With that Sleight of Hand Pro, it's got more of that assault rifle feel to it, being quick and snappy. Obviously, it isn't going to compare to the AUG, which is sort of the golden standard LMG assault rifle hybrid in my eyes. But, yeah, I mean, it's close. The L86 is trying. Don't blame it. Don't body shame, okay? I already did that, so you don't need to do it again. Another option, if you're really sadistic, you can put on a thermal sight.
That's bad.
And this is just terrible.
Why are we showing
I would not recommend doing this because people are going to hate you. A lot of people are already going to hate you anyways for using a gun like this and doing well. So if you want to stay clear of that Modern Warfare 3 Black Ops 2 thermal sight, fake hacks, aimbot, no recoil at all, stupid bullshit, don't go for the thermal sight. Just don't do it. Don't be that guy. Another reason I think the L86 loses out to a lot of its companions in the LMG category, specifically the RPD, is because the RPD is featured in multiple other games, such as COD 4. It's a beloved gun in that game as well, also being very viable in Modern Warfare 2. When this gun just hasn't had a lot of exposure at this point. It comes back in Modern Warfare 3. It's also in a few Battlefield games, but those games usually feature its assault rifle counterpart, the L85. So those are obviously a little more run and gun style. But I don't know. For me, it's just something special about guns that people...
I think also, to its credit, I didn't really touch on this here, but the RPD is just flat out better, right? We all know that. It's like a easier recoil, I think, to predict. Yeah. And it's maybe a little bit more recognizable because of the AK-47.
People don't like. I'm like the ugly duckling. I like the odd one out, because maybe in a way I am the odd one out. We're getting deep here, guys. We're getting deep.
Oh my god.
Despite all of that, I still much prefer the RPD. And that wraps up this episode of Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. This game was a little more difficult. Most of the guns are pretty viable and it has a pretty widespread audience, other than the UMP and the Intervention. So tune in next time when we cover Black Ops 1 and see what kind of underrated guns that game has for us.
Come back next time in about 4 years. I'll have another episode for you.
Overpowered weapons such as the, AK-74U, FAMAS, L96, you name it. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.
Yeah. It's nice. That was solid. That was a lot better. Quality up and up. See, this is what happens. This is why you just need to make more videos, okay? For the aspiring creator out there, your first video is not going to be good. It's not. We saw that. With the COD 4 one, that wasn't even my first video, right? It was the first of this format. So when you start something new, it's going to be weird. Like this is new for me. It's going to be weird, and it's going to get better. You just gotta put in the reps, right? That stuff is real. Gotta put in the work. Shit will get better. Speaking of doing something new, maybe we should, if there are any Roston fans out there, check out this Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. This isn't new. This is like during a like a good season for me at this point in time. I was unemployed, and I was really on this grind of recording. Like every day I had done it for a long time to complete this playthrough because Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valencia was coming out in May, I believe. So I was like, let's get this thing done in a month, see if I can do that, and then go straight into the next one. And I did it barely, and then I didn't finish Awakening or the Echoes, so kind of a fail. But we did this, and I just finished Shadow or Sacred Stones before this. So.
Okay, what is going on, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of Let's Play Fire Emblem Awakening. It's wow.
Voice is weird.
Okay, so this game, first of all, is kind of loud for me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and turn.
I think there's something with some mic monitoring that makes me sound like talk different for a minute. I've noticed it a couple times in some videos. But that's different. That's weird.
Don't worry. Everything will be fine. This is the Ard, which is really exciting. Now I can play Awakening, Fates, and the upcoming Echoes, Shadows of Valencia, and it's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I've pretty much got everything set up so far. I think there might be some things I can do a little better.
I also know I was doing some EQs on these videos, so that's another thing that's gonna make me sound different. I've got EQs now, but they're more subtractive, if that makes sense. I don't have anything added. I have things cut. So any harsher frequencies should theoretically be cut. I mean, only like 4 of them, because that's all the EQ spots I had on this mixer. So yeah.
In terms of quality, but I don't know. There are some filters on this viewing software that I don't really
For me, on this, I remember turning bass up, mids down, treble up maybe a little. So it's been a really long time. Gonna do a lot of random broad strokes.
Pretty much since Fates came out, I have not been. I've not touched this game at all. Our Lord's pal, the tactician, just kind of can lose, really die. Really, no way you can get killed unless you get RNG screwed really bad.
I'm pretty happy with this.
But we're just gonna go ahead.
This is 2017. First episode. This is not bad.
Fools, struggle all you want. You cannot unwrite what is already written.
I do like voice acting. It's fun.
This game, famous for its no feet animation, or yeah, animations, no sprites, no feet in the sprites. What am I saying? Okay, so yep, we got Thoron with the dual strike. There we go. So it's gonna take me a while to get back onto Awakening's dual strike mechanics, since I've been on Fates
play Awakening.
Right then, we'll take him back to town and sort this out there. Wait just a moment. Do I have a say in this? Peace, friend. I promise we'll hear all you have to say back in town. Now come.
I do like a little bit of bass boost in my voice, and a little bit of the treble sounds nice, like the sibilance. I think it sounds a little bit more professional to have a little bit more. That's not like crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's something to experiment with. I think that's enough of that. It's not really what I'm here to do today. New song.
What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. Today
I'll start using. Thanks, Evan.
Taking a look at Black Ops, the original.
All right. First off the bat, 2020, crazy. Description is this gameplay is 6 years old. I need to purge maybe. And new song. Sad. Not a bad song.
What is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. Today we are taking a look at Black Ops, the original, not Cold War. No, I cursed.
I can tell that I voiced this later. It wasn't like 4 years old that I just uploaded. I think I just came off the cusp one day in 2020. I feel like I can tell in the mic quality and in the way I'm actually talking. So it's interesting. I don't remember doing this that much later. It's kind of funny.
Myself with going in order, so that's what we're going to do. But I am going to stick to it because I have this gameplay here and might as well use it. It's been a couple of years since I've done one of these. I wanted to keep the channel somewhat
concise and stuck to a niche, but I've kind of just come to the conclusion that I don't really care that much anymore. With that out of the way, here we go. We've got the Enfield, probably one of the least popular assault rifles in the original Black Ops, and for not a ton of good reason, although there is a lot of good competition in the assault rifle category.
I think it's flat out worse
all
than the FAMAS and the AK and the
better
Commando
option statistically speaking.
So
well, not even really
it?
statistically speaking, but
I think that you get the AK. Oh, and the Galil. I think you get a better gun really early. So it's like maybe use this for level 2, or actually the day one, like level 1 SMGs were better. I think like the 74U, I think you unlock pretty early, or the MP5 is probably the first one, which is fine too. So there's really not a lot of reason to use the Enfield for more than like 20 minutes.
This gun is not the best by far, but in the right hands can certainly do some damage, and compared to the other automatic weapons that share its time to kill, it's probably the worst.
I remember having these thoughts of, if I'm going to cover weapons like this, I should probably get into like analytical data, like numbers, time to kill, DPS, fire rates, all these statistical things that would actually back up what I'm saying, other than I feel like, in my experience, blah blah blah. And I just never really wanted to have I never had the desire to do that. I didn't want to be that channel. I didn't want to be like a Drifter or a JGod or whatever that does the numbers, because I felt like they were already doing that better than I could have done it, and it would have taken me a lot of time, and I know I would have burnt out on it super fast. Then I think that's the imposter syndrome of this point of in my career on YouTube. Like, if I know I can't do that better, and I know I'm not going to want to, so I'm not going to do, and I don't want to make these types of videos anymore, which is kind of sad and lame. Also, the point of making these is to kind of, it is for fun, but also, other than sharing my opinions and thoughts, it is to try to build something in the end of the day. And if it's not going to do a good job of doing that, there's like, what is that going to be worth it to do the thing, right? And these aren't very intensive videos for sure. And I could have probably made a couple rounds in this series if I stuck to it, but I was more drawn to the frickin' Fire Emblem Let's Plays and the doing things with friends thing, which I'm still battling currently. So it's all just a journey, man. We're just getting philosophical in here. Run it.
But doesn't mean it's bad. So which is what we try to do here on Underrated Guns. We give the power to those guns that never see the love, and this one just never got that, in my experience at least. So the best way I think you should run this weapon is plain and simple. I mean, it's Black Ops, it's mostly going to be plain and simple anyways.
It's true.
None of that Warlord stuff or whatever the bling perk was in the game that lets you have 2 attachments. Now we're spoiled, we get 5. It's kind of crazy, but back in the day, you get 1, you get maybe 2, and in this game I would just say dual mag, extended mag, maybe suppressor if you're running free for all or search and destroy, or one of those games that you might want to stay off the radar. And if that's more of a priority for you, silencer can do the trick, but honestly I don't think that's the way to go. It reduces your range. I almost feel like it gives you a funky bit of recoil here and there, but I am not a stats guide by any means.
Not a stats
we're
guy.
Gonna take it or leave it.
Straight up.
Very anecdotally here, no real data, although I did look up the stats of the gun and compared it to the other assault rifles just to make sure I wasn't saying anything that was just completely infactual. Is that a word? I'll have to look that up too. Hopefully my source was correct. I didn't think to double check because, let's be honest, does it really matter anymore? So as I mentioned earlier, this gun wasn't statistically the best
crazy.
In any sort of way. I think the only thing that really saves it is its
I just killed my friend Sean on the other team for some reason, through a wall.
Even that,
what was that?
I don't think is very good compared to
How are we playing free for
the
all?
other guns in the game. Not to mention, a lot of the other assault rifles were more well known and respected, had more of a reputation than this Enfield. Although the Galil, this might have been the first time we saw that in a Call of Duty game, at least in my time since COD 4. Speaking of the Galil, that would be my go-to assault rifle, at least after the overpowered FAMAS got nerfed in the middle of the game's life cycle, probably close to the beginning, honestly. But I was always just a fan of the Galil anyways, which has a higher damage, higher magazine capacity, and a much cleaner iron sight, as well as higher damage overall.
I feel like the commentary is like weirdly spaced out. Like I didn't take away some of the weird pauses that I probably should have, because I didn't really mean for them to be there while recording. It just sort of happened, and now it just seems a little bit weird.
Just by a little bit, not really. I don't think it makes a difference at all, actually, unless you take into account multipliers. I did not see any damage multipliers as far as body shots, headshots, leg shots, that sort of thing, but that's not really my can of worms here. So if you want the honest opinion, I don't really think there's any reason other than novelty to go with this over something like the Galil, the FAMAS, the AK. Maybe the AK's got a little too much vertical recoil for you. You know, you could use a little something that's maybe more mellow, which this would be, I think, but the iron sights aren't great, as I've mentioned, and I just don't really think slapping a red dot is gonna do that much for you. Maybe it'll help you enough, but I just think the quicker reloads, maybe the more ammo, the higher magazine capacity, or that sort of thing would help you a little bit more. All that aside, I'm pretty sure that does it for today. Nice, short and sweet. I don't want to be here too long dwelling on the past when there's the latest and greatest from Treyarch out right now. So,
Cold War. Talk about Cold War.
In the meantime, we'll get back to that game, and I'll cover it shortly. Another note is we had to change the music. Sad day, I know. I really enjoyed the other song.
Why am I talking about it? Why am I talking about it in this video, actually?
Unfortunately, I don't have the rights to use that anymore. So, we went with a change. In the meantime, carry on, keep gaming, and I don't know, just have a good time. Okay, I think that'll do it for me, and I will see you next time on Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. Thanks for watching.
Let's go. It's so funny. I don't remember this one at all. And I love Evan straight up is just like, thank you, I'll start using this, because like, where did this video come from in 2020? I don't know. That's why I think now, I think a twist is needed for these to make more sense, because why do we care? Underrated Guns of Call of Duty. I don't know. And I think it made more sense 9 years ago, because those games were so much more relevant, or more recently in our hearts. The classic COD 4, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 3, and Black Ops 2. Those are the classics that we all built this foundation of COD on. And they were still more relevant to our hearts 8 years ago, 9 years ago. The newest game was Modern Warfare Remastered and Black Ops 3, Infinite Warfare, Advanced Warfare. Those were the new ones. So that era that was gone was still so much more recently in reach, if that makes sense. Whereas now it's like there's an era in between there. The Infinite Warfares, the Advanced Warfare, the World of War IIs, that era is now in between that and the classic. And now we're in modern weird era, 2019, Modern Warfare 2019, up until now. So I think that pretty much does it. There's some more things I'd like to react to, but we'll keep this. Maybe we'll do this again. I think that this video would do better once I've established more content, more new content. So maybe we'll come back to this later, and this was kind of a weird time to do this. But anyways, yeah, for more to come. Maybe you're stumbling upon this in the future, and it's still nice to look back on, even though as of now I haven't really started anything new. So this is for the timeline, right? We're just going a little bit out of order, and I appreciate it. And if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hit that like button, get subscribed for some more stuff, and yeah, we will see you in the next one, if I ever decide to make another video.